Good morning, you guys. What a beautiful, beautiful weekend. It is finally fall time and the weather is currently in the 70s. So, what better to do than be outside in the garden? I thought today I've got a plethora of projects I need to do. But before I get too dirty, we're going to start with the Eden Climber. We just planted, or I just planted this one in the garden in the springtime, so it's only been in the ground for several months. And you can see it has produced several canes that I've started training on here. And training it, I just use zip ties. Black zip ties, you can use white one. White one might be better because you won't be able to see it as much as the black ones, but when it foliage and flower, you don't really see the zip tie anyways, and you can always zip tie it and make it more neat by cutting it as opposed to leaving it the way it is. You can see she's growing, and I did prune back a couple of branches already, and then these are the branches that I am keeping. But you can see I let her grow a little bit. She is a little bit floppy, so I've got to train her back to the trellis. So we got to get her back up there so that she can go over top of this beautiful archway that the husband made for us. The hammock is out. The weather is finally beautiful enough that you can lay out here, I guess. Get a little bit of breeze. And the bugs are not as bad. I garden in zone 8A, Alabama, and it gets a little bit hot and humid, and all the bugs come out because they want to come after you. So you can see here, you can train them. There are different methods of training it, but what you want to do is keep just enough, I guess, what do you call these? Just enough canes to kind of go over your trellis. So it depends on how big your trellis is. Mine is big enough that I can have multiple stems, but generally the rule of thumb, I think people say 3 to 5. 3 on the smaller side if you only have half a cow panel fence, but mine's a full, so I go for as many as I can to get the maximize of the bloom. But the more canes you have, the more you need to feed them, because it's like a healthy growing baby. So I'm going to put the camera down and we're going to start training. There is something I do want to show you. So as you know, each individual canes you can climb, but if you lay them laterally, so if you lay them sideways like this, it will push new growth out of each of the nodes. Like, let's take this stem for instance. Since I train it kind of laterally to go this way, you see how on each node there is a stem that's coming up, that's pushing out, and each of those nodes is where the flowers are going to be. So if you have the space, instead of climbing it upward and you climb it more laterally, it's going to give you more flowers and more branching. Now, if you can see the one where I just go straight up, this is the one that I'm just climbing it all the way up. It will branch out eventually. So here you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes as well. But it won't be as prolific as the one that you are training laterally, like this one down here. And that's what I did with the Eden Climber, the white one that I have over on the other trellis. So I kind of did a lateral back and forth method of swishing it back and forth. But when you do that, it creates kind of more of a clumping cluster. And with roses in the hot humidity, it needs a little bit more breathable space to help with its black spots. You can see no matter what you do, you will get black spots in the south just because the roses don't like this kind of weather and the humidity. But if you can help with the air circulation, it's another way to help it not get so damp and wet. Which foster, of course, more of the black spots and the fungus. So with this Eden, I'm trying to take extra care and just kind of leading her up, except for that one over there. I had to take it to the side. So that's what we're going to do. Sorry for the long-winded talk. Now we're going to get started. sometimes when you're over here and you look, and if it looks too busy, you can remove a cane. I think I'm going to remove this one. It's somewhat of a new cane that's coming out. But I think I've got a cluster of them over here that I'm not sure if I want this one to be a part of. So this is just kind of a great way to look at your cane. And it looks like I need to come down and I need to remove this one because it's kind of dead and dying. And this one over here seems to be impeding on this growth of this cane. So I might come in and cut this at the base right here. I've got enough canes coming out that I don't need to worry. But see, this one will eventually get bigger and then it's going to create a sore between these two because it's already, as you can see, really close against each other. So I need to bring the saw over here and saw it off because the pruning shear that I have won't cut through that. But I think I'm going to remove this one. Or maybe not, because there's a gap right here. And sometimes you'll be in here. Oh, look, there's a yucky bug. Kind of like a caterpillar that wants to eat it. Maybe that's why this branch is broken. You can see him. He's right there. I'm going to try to... He's right here. You see him? Moving around. So... And it looks like he broke that branch because see how this branch is wilted? So you follow it to the base and right there it looks like it got bent, snipped, or eaten. So I'll come in and I'll remove that one just to facilitate more healthier growth, not leave a dead one in there. So what I want to do is have a branch that comes on the edge so you have flower there and then everything else in between. And on the back side or front side, I'm not sure how you guys are looking at it, but I guess this is really the front side. I also want to make sure that I have a climber that's climbing up on this front side, and then I want it to cascade, kind of like following this branch all the way down to the other side. Now, I don't think it's going to grow that long and leggy for me, so what I'm going to do is either find another eating, or if I can root some of my own, grow some on the other side, and then push this other side through and up this way. So that way this whole thing is filled up with Eden Climber. I think that'll be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful once she starts growing. And honestly, I'm really pleased with her growth habit. Like I said, we only put her in the ground a couple months ago in the springtime, and she's already tripled her size and climbing upward. So really happy with her. Alright, and then I have this one stubborn one that wants to come out off of it. I want to train it in a little bit, but it still doesn't quite reach where I want to put the zip tie to. So I think I'll let it grow just a little bit more and then we'll stick that in there. It's kind of a cluster over here because the tip for some reason stopped growing. It must have died off. Generally when you have a long cane like this, if the tip breaks off, it will try to send out a new lateral growth from a node, and then that node will take off and become the new cane. And I think that's what happened with this one here. This is the new growth that decide it wants to be a leader, because see, it's stemming from this one here, but it's this back one here that's climbing all the way up, and somehow this is the tip of it. See how this was the original tip and it's blackened right there in the center? I think that's why it broke off. So generally, if the cane is healthy and the main point of it doesn't break off, it'll keep on taking off. So it is currently about, I would say it's about 7 feet tall. I'm 5 foot, and it's right up there. So that's at least, my husband is 6, and I think it's a little bit over his head. So it's about 6 feet or 7 feet tall. Like here, what I was talking about. This is one of the main canes, and you could see I trained it all the way up, and then somehow over here at the tip, it broke off. So once the tip broke off, it's going to send out from the node a new node will come, and then a branching will appear, and then you can use that one as the new leader to train it all the way up. So you just pick the healthier one, and then you take that one, and that's the one you use. So we're going to go in, get the pruning saw, and we'll saw that off. And then I think we should be good. I decided to leave this one on just because there's a slight gap in between these two. Sorry, the camera is sideways. There's a slight gap right here growing, you can see. So since it's still pretty young and pretty new, I'm going to just leave it and then see how dense it gets for next year when it flowers and flushes out. And then I'll come in and prune it if I feel it's too dense in this area. But if I remove it, you can see there's a slight gap right here where I put this down. There's kind of a gap right here, and I want it to be really flushed out and very dense. So, and here is my DeWalt saw that I will be using today. Love this tool for the hardier stuff. All right, that made clean cut of it. It does shake the plant a little bit, but a little bit of shaking for the less amount of work. You see I cut this one here just to alleviate this one. If I had left it on, you can see here where it's starting to scar and damage this one. So we removed it, I think, just in time. Sorry, it's not zooming. Just in time so that it can heal up. And then this one where the main cane is, you can see this one's starting to grow and push into this one. So removing this one will give it a little bit more spacing to do its thing. So I am very hopeful that this Eden will hopefully flush out and be beautiful in the springtime. I had hoped that maybe it would have given me some flowers during the fall time now that it's cooler, but I think it's just spending all of its energy into development. Let's go look at the other one, the white one. I haven't really taken care of the white one as much as I should. I just babying it because I was so disappointed that it wasn't what I had originally purchased. But it was still beautiful in the springtime. If you guys get a chance to check out that video with the first flush. But right now it's kind of just all over the place. It's gangly, it's not really pushing out any new growth. You can see with this one, it grew all the way to about midpoint of the trellis, and then it kind of quit. And then the clematis, this beautiful white clematis, pushes out and it's reaching just about the same height as the Eden. And this is the white Eden climber. You can see once she had her first flush, I went in, cut it back. Actually, I deadheaded quite a bit. So we will see in the springtime how well she does. But it's just not, she's suffering. And of course, with all the black spots, there's really nothing that can be done. And I think I could give it a little bit more spacing for airflow. I do have this angel trumpet right here that's kind of giving it a little competition for its airflow. But otherwise, the cane is climbing. This one I had less canes. This one I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 canes on this one. And it actually flushed out really beautifully. Oh look, there is one flower bud. Can you see it? It's right somewhere right here. I can't seem to get my finger. Can't focus it. And I'm too short. Okay, it's right there. There is one bud, so we'll see how that goes. It sporadically gives me bud, which is great. And like I said, if you leave your cane to lean laterally, every node like here will push new growth, and from those new growth will come flowers for you. But even if you don't, like, look at this one that's growing super tall upward. It's doing the same thing as well. So it depends on what kind of trellis you have it growing. Do you want it to grow laterally or just upright and then at the very tip? But I hate to have a climber that doesn't have any flowers at the base. But then you can always go in and underplant it with other things. So we'll see at the competition of the show between the white Eden climber and the pink Eden climber come springtime. This one is 1 year older in the ground than Eden, the pink Eden. This one comes springtime will be 2 years in the ground, whereas it'll be 1 year for the other one. So we'll see how it goes. That is it for my 2 Eden climber, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all and for your time just showing up every time I have a video. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy this beautiful fall weather in your garden. I'll see you in the next video, everyone.